All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been lied to. We've been lied to by a lot of people. And these are three misconceptions we're going to uncover today that I'm going to tell you the truth about. So, James, when we're live on Instagram, let me
We
know.
are.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice. So, you have to destroy some old beliefs that are probably ingrained from childhood or from parents and grandparents. And belief number one is if I just work harder, I'll make more money. And so I am a grinder. I love working hard. But sometimes you can't outwork yourself out of a bad situation. So when you have that mentality, it's amazing. But if you're working hard and doing the wrong thing, you're just going to make the problem even worse. So this just work harder mentality is not always the best answer. So like our parents had this overtime mentality and it worked. But if you own a business, if you are a salon owner, the harder you work at something that's not working, it's just going to amplify it not working. So you really truly have to figure out what is the best salon model for you? What are the systems you have to put in place? Because if you're not heading in the right direction, you're going to keep getting further and further and further away from the goal line that you're trying to achieve. And then misconception number two, I need to be the best stylist in my salon. No, you have to be the best owner in your area or the best owner in the world. See, when you're the best stylist in your salon, it's the wrong mindset. It is the mindset of almost like you always have that to fall back on. And so you know that no matter what, you can always do hair and you can always fall back on that. And then you're always the person taking the new clients or always the person helping the other stylist out when there's a mistake. And it's not, I'm not saying you're competing with your team, but you're not being a true leader or the true salon owner or the CEO of your company because you're wearing the hat of the artist, of the operator. And so you can't fully step into that role of the owner because you're too busy looking at everything through the lens of the hairstylist. And so I don't want people to think like, hey, I got to be the best hairstylist in my salon. No, I want you to truly step into, I want to be the best owner. And there's two completely different lenses you're looking through from the perspective of the owner and from the perspective of the stylist. So if you're still doing hair behind the chair, that's fine. And a lot of people love doing hair. And sometimes people are like, I don't ever want to stop doing hair because I love it. But you also don't love the culture of the salon that you were at, which is why you left and opened up your own salon. And so you never really step into the true owner role. And what begins to happen is you're like, well, I don't want to stop doing hair. So you're stuck because your salon's not profiting. You're making less money than you were when you were renting a chair or doing commission, and you don't know what to do. So the first thing you have to do is build a replacement ladder. The things you're not doing in your business because you don't like doing them, which is the ownership stuff, you have to replace yourself and have someone else do them for you. That comes from delegating. So there's a lesson I teach called Delegate to Elevate. And it's where I break down exactly how you can hire either virtual assistants and then you can start replacing yourself on the replacement ladder. And the first thing you want to get done or you want to delegate is the $10 an hour admin tasks that you don't do anyway. They don't make you feel great, they don't empower you. So if you can start divvying up all the management responsibilities and all the owner responsibilities, you could then spend your time doing what you love, which is hair. Now, some people who love being entrepreneurs and love being owners, you don't want to do hair anymore because you love leading people. So then you're going to have to replace yourself as a stylist and then start passing off your single processes and then your blowouts and your haircuts and your extensions and your highlights. And then that way you spread out all the client wealth throughout your salon and then you focus on being the owner. And then misconception number three, that's going to be marketing. I can solve it with marketing. So if you think you can solve everything with marketing, this is one of my most favorite quotes. Good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. When you put marketing is fuel, right? When you put fuel on a fire, it's going to accelerate that fire. So if your salon's burning to the ground because your procedures and your processes aren't really efficient, you're going to just amplify the profit loss that you're dealing with. You're going to amplify the bad culture. You're going to amplify the bad reviews. You're going to amplify the amount of people leaving your salon because now you're just making it busier and more chaotic. So good marketing is super important, but you have to market a good product. If your haircuts aren't great, don't spend the money on marketing right just yet. Spend the money on education for your team. You have to build the team so when they deliver a haircut, they deliver a color, they deliver on whatever service they're providing, they're delivering on the promise you're making to the community that you're the best salon in the area. And so work on that first, then you work on your marketing. Because if you do it the other way around, if you hire the agency to do your ads for you and your Facebook ads, and they are good, or you learn it yourself, it's only going to make you fail faster. So that is one of the most important lessons that I learned when I was behind the chair, 'cause I was really good at marketing. And then I had to get really good at doing hair because people were coming from all over the state to come see me. And I was like, "Oh shit, like they're expecting this result that I'm showing on my Facebook." And that was, this is before Instagram really got popular. So I had to peel back some of my marketing efforts and get better at my skill set. And the same thing happened when I started building a team. I was really good at marketing them, but we're getting a lot of redos. And so I was like, oh shit, let me just take the budget from that and allocate it towards, training them and then put it back towards marketing again. So those are the three lies that are probably keeping people stuck. And I'm going to just recap them again right now. So lie number one is, let's get to it right here. I skipped this real quick. Lie number one is going to be, the harder you work, the more successful you'll be. No, that's not absolutely true, because if you're working hard at doing the wrong thing, then you're only going to amplify the situation. Lie number two is you have to be the best stylist in your salon. Not true either. You have to be the best owner in your salon. If you still love doing hair, awesome. Hire someone to be the owner and the manager or do the ownership duties. And then number three is you have to be the best at marketing, or you can outmarket your situation. You can outmarket a bad salon, and you can't. You have to make sure that the services that you're providing are top notch, because good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. So that is going to be our quick little 1, 2, 3 for today's live. And then James, we're going to open the floor up for some Q&A. So guys, any questions, challenges you're dealing with? There was somebody I was in the DMs with, and she had a question about her business, right? She's a bridal specialist, and she hires freelancers for her bridal business. And her concern was, her issue with her team was they don't know why she doesn't collaborate with them or advertise or market the people she brings on for her salon, for her wedding business, right? And her fear was, if she promotes them in her Instagram for her wedding business, wouldn't they just go to them? And it's a very limited belief. It's a scarcity mindset. Just because you're shouting out other people and just because you're marketing or promoting your team, it's only going to amplify the amount of trust that other people have with you. There's enough people in the world that need to get their hair done for the wedding. If you're the best, they're seeking you out. Just like in my salon, I connect anyone who I'm connecting with on Instagram for their hair. I'll put them in a group chat with my stylist. Now, my stylist could just take them and do them at home. Of course, they could do that. But the whole thing about your wedding business that should be known is that you are the most organized service provider in your field. So people are hiring your company. Even though the stylists are the artists that are doing it, there's a lot that goes into doing hair for a wedding, from organizing the times to making sure that you're on site or you're off site, and making sure that everyone is, the girls who are doing the hair and the girls who are getting their hair done are connected, and everything's happening at the right time so they can get photos done. If there's an issue, if there's a mistake, if something's happening, who's handling payment? Is there 10 people? Is there 12 people? That's a lot for a stylist. If they wanted to do that, they probably would have done that on their own already. So would you just get rid of the scarcity mindset? Because if they wanted to do it, like I said, they would do it already. So it's important that you have the conversation with your team And if you showcase yourself as being the best bridal business in the world, they're going to reach out to you first, even if you're marketing other people. So that just comes from a scarcity mindset. There's enough people in the world. And here's the thing I want you to think about. If you're promoting them, they're going to be in return promoting you. They're one person. And so if you have a really amazing business and you have a really amazing culture in that business you built, and you deliver on promises both to your team and to the clients, when that person has someone reach out to them, where do you think they're going to go? Do you think they're going to try and do them on their own and figure it out by themselves and start stealing your other people? Or do you think that they're going to reach out to you? They're probably going to reach out to you. And if you are the best in your area and you treat everyone really well, when the time comes, if that ever happens, when someone reaches out to another one of your freelancers, like, hey, can you do a wedding? I can't because I'm booked up for the next 18 months with Kate. So get rid of limited belief, get rid of the mindset about people stealing your clients from you, or it's just not going to happen.
So
Focus on you being the best.
I
Yeah.
got a question here by Chantel. What's the best advice to move past scarcity mindset? How do you personally push through the seasons of it creeping back in?
There's enough people in the here's what I do. Is there somebody in the world right now getting a new client? Is there a salon in my area that's actually busy? And if my salon isn't busy, is it because of the economy? No, because the salon down the street is busy and we live in the same area. So that's not it. Is it because there's not enough people in the world? Well, no, there's people getting their hair done in that salon. So that's not it. And so if you just focus on being the best at what it is that you do and then telling the world about it to get as much attention about it, you get so busy that you don't have time to have scarcity leak in. And it does happen from time. Trust me, listen, everyone has it. But sit down and think to yourself, did I die? No. Am I still here? Yes. Was there ever a bad situation in my life that I dealt with and then I was able to overcome it? Okay. So do things always work out for the best? Yes. Either I learn a lesson from it or I grow from it. So what's the point of wasting your energy thinking about negativity and lack? And then how about I just replace that energy with trying to promote myself more? So one of the things about a scarcity mindset that happens is this. It is from the outside. You're thinking of extracting money from people, and money is scarce in your world, right? So you're limited with that belief. It's scarce in your life, which is why you're struggling with it. Do this instead. Instead of focusing about the lack of money you have, focus about the abundance of knowledge and service you provide to people. So instead of thinking about, I'm going to make $1,000 this week, I'm going to help 100 people this week solve their hair frustrations or their hair problems. And that comes in the form of content. That comes in the form of just speaking to random people on the street, that whatever that means to you. So switch the mindset from I'm going to make X amount of dollars or I need to make X amount of dollars to I'm going to help X amount of people today. I'm going to make X amount of people today feel beautiful. And I'm going to empower them with the content that I'm creating. I'm going to empower them with the conversations that I'm having. And then if you help 100 people this month solve their hair problem, whether it's brassy hair, damage, thinning hair, the haircut they don't love, styling, you help 100 people do that, you are going to make money. So when I had this belief, it was because it was about money. And I have a problem charging people in the beginning of my career. And it was like, I talked to one of my clients actually. She's was big into yoga, meditation, spirituality. I was like, how do you charge people for doing something that you love? I'm just curious. And she's like, I don't look at it as charging them. I don't look at it as money. I just look at it as a transfer of love. And so I give them something they love and they can, they in return, they give me something so I can purchase something I love. And so for when it comes to hair, you're giving them hair that they love. You're giving them something they that changes their life. It changes their energy, changes their mood. And then so they love their hair when they leave your salon. So what do they do? They give you this piece of paper or this money that now you can go get that same feeling. So all you're doing is doing a transfer of energy / a transfer of love. And so if I just focus on giving the world will reciprocate that same energy back to me. So whenever I feel like something's wrong in my life or I'm lacking in some area, all right, what can I do? How can I help someone solve this issue that I'm dealing with right now? And when I do that, magically, I don't have any more scarcity because I know I'm full of knowledge and I can help a lot of people grow and build their salon from the things that I learned or grow and build their business behind the chair. So I just focused on that. And then the scarcity of it just went away. So really focus on everything you have to offer the world. And one of my favorite quotes from one of my coaches was, "Build the man, create the man you admire, and give him to the world." And so every morning at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in my calendar, that's my morning event. I will create the man I admire and give him to the world. So I'm giving it all away. The universal law of compensation comes right back to me. So I never have to worry about having a scarcity mindset anymore. Because the second that creeps in, what I do is I start giving everything away. And you only give what you have. So if it's value, if it's information, if it's haircuts, the fastest way to become a millionaire is to help a million people and charge everyone $1.
As one of Nick's close personal friends, I could definitely vouch for that. He doesn't just do that for his clients and his coaching program. He does that in every aspect of his life. He's one of the most giving friends I've ever had in my entire life. It's wild, his mindset and how he does things. Um, Everybody's blessed to have a Nick in their life.
Thanks, James.
No problem. Um,
I was going to call you a name, but I can't do that because I'm live.
no, you can't do that. We're live right now, Nick. We can save that for after the show.
That was a great question, though.
Message heard. Such incredible advice. Hair by Chantel says, such incredible advice. Here's one more. How do I push through the scarcity of hosting more classes? Pushing through the negative mindset that no one will want to come and purchase tickets.
If you think that no one will purchase tickets, then no one's going to purchase tickets because of the way you're getting people to buy the ticket. So one of the things you can do is create so much free content that people are like, wow, she's giving this away for free. Imagine what it's like to go to one of her classes you have to pay for. It's a no-brainer. So over deliver. Like when you create your class structure, if you look at it and really it's worth $2,000 and you charge $200 for it and you value stack it and you make it an offer so good that it's a no-brainer. They can't say no, then they're not going to say no. Create the class not with money in mind, create the class with delivering the most value in mind. So I want every person to walk away from this class being able to do a haircut they can charge $1,000 for if they wanted to. And so value stack that class. So, it's every person leaving it will leave and tell the world about it. And if no one buys a ticket, do it for free. Do it for free until you're literally you have the best education on the planet. Then you can charge what you want. So go live, teach classes on your Instagram, on your TikTok, on your YouTube, showcase everything that you do. And because not everyone has the attention span to watch all your stuff at once. So they're going to pay just to have access to you. That's what they're paying for. They're paying for you. There's only one you. Next question. If there is one. Oh, it's Friday. Everyone should be at work right now.
Chat's actually pretty crazy right now. How do I know if I'm operating from fear or strategy in my decision making?
Okay, so there's not a problem with operating from fear as long as it doesn't control you. Like, don't be afraid of the outcome. Be afraid of not like you're always going to be able to overcome it. So fear isn't necessarily a bad thing. It keeps you sharp, right? It's part of our DNA as human beings. And you have to ask yourself, like you literally just ask yourself, is this the best possible strategy? And why am I choosing to do this? And it's always if this, then that. One of the things that another quote I love when it comes to fear is even if. Everyone's about what if. Well, what if that happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? No, fuck that. Even if, even if my whole entire team walks out on me, I will make it through it. Even if this happens, well, what if this happens? Well, even if that happens, I'll get over it. Even if I go bankrupt, I'll come back even stronger. Even if I fail, I'm going to learn a lesson from it, and I'm going to teach somebody else so they don't make that same mistake. And then when I teach enough people, they're going to pay me for it. And then now I made the money back from that mistake. So the amount of money I lost on Google Ads because I didn't know what I was doing, I made back tenfold already by teaching other people how to not make that mistake. So if had I never made that mistake, I would have never have that lesson. I would never been able to monetize the knowledge that I had because of that lesson. So even if, yeah, become a person that says even if I take this chance. Now, don't be reckless, right? Be calculated. What is the fear trying to tell me? Like, is it legitimate fear? And one of the things I know, one of my clients who I love, Angela, I always say this to her, like, did you die? Like, honestly, guys, like, think about this. You're watching this probably on an iPhone, some kind of a device that's over five, six, $700. And you're watching this probably in air conditioning if you live, it's summertime right now. And life isn't that hard. Like, somebody's worried about their meal right now. What are you afraid of? Like, honestly, what are you afraid of? Ask yourself, like, what is the worst thing that could actually happen? I gotta go get a job somewhere after I gotta go work at a salon again after I opened my salon and I failed. Okay, well, what are the lessons you learned? Dust yourself off, have another bat. Like it, use fear as something to keep you sharp and something to help you navigate through any potential issues that happen, but don't let it paralyze you. Let it just sharpen you and always have that mentality of even if. I mean, I think, I don't know if the one thing I lacked, maybe it was from the Marine Corps, is fear. I just go all in. All right, I have an idea. I take I because I like speed. Like I want to know if it's going to work or not. So I pivot. I go all in, and then sometimes it doesn't work. I'm like, oh shit, that was an expensive lesson. Let me repivot and reorganize. But I'm always going to be able to make more money. Like like there's things that we do in our industry. You can always cut hair. Like unless you're doing something completely reckless that you should be afraid of. Like I don't know, getting blackout drunk, jumping off a roof of a building, or trying to jump off a balcony into a pool. Like that's stupid stuff. Like you should be afraid of that. But when it comes to basic stuff, like don't be afraid.
All things that Nick has done.
Yeah. But just like, what are you afraid of? Like, honestly, is life that hard right now? Somebody right now just lost a child. God forbid it. I want no one to ever deal with that. Losing a parent. Like you're dealing with serious shit in your life. You enter into business? What's the worst that happens? You make some bad decisions. You lost a little bit of money. Well, guess what? Don't waste that time that you use to learn those lessons. Let it teach you to make you even better. As long as you're always continuing self improvement and self development to become a better version of yourself day by day by day, you will eventually get to where you need to go as long as you're always learning. So there's nothing to be afraid of.
Uh, we got
Next question. Yeah.
um, where do most salon owners uh, overwork just to feel productive instead of being strategic?
This is a great question. So salon owners love doing shit like creating new pricing menus, changing the font and the color of their branding on their website, doing photo shoots. Like you do things that you can offload to somebody else that you can hire a virtual assistant for. You create lesson plans and strategies and processes, and you analyze numbers like forever. You're fucking punching in Excel sheets. You spend like 4 hours creating this to-do list and buying new software to make you more organized. All you need is a index card, and then every night, what do I have to do tomorrow? What are the top 3 things that will help me get closer to my one goal if I accomplish them tomorrow? And then you just do those 3 things. That's it. That's the only thing you got to do. Spending 4 hours looking at a color palette for your new brand is bullshit. Don't do that. Taking a look at your numbers and analyzing every single KPI when you don't have any clients coming in your salon right now, It's not going to help you. So like, what are you pretending not to know that you already know? Like, you're not profitable. You don't have to analyze your fucking business with a million different numbers. Okay, where's the most of the money coming out of? Whatever that is, fix that one thing and don't do anything else till that's fixed. Then you go to the next thing. And so what we do is we spend all this time analyzing, inundated, or you spend time getting busy somewhere else to avoid the big problem that you don't want to face, because you know it comes down to you as a person having to make a hard decision to pull the trigger on the thing, which is either firing the person or hiring the person. So that's what a lot of owners do. You think being busy is going to solve your problem at the end of the day. No. If there's not a number connected to that thing you're doing, that task, don't do it. If money is the problem and profit's the issue, then what can you do to become more profitable or make more money? And so sometimes you don't know if you're profitable or not because you're not busy enough. So then get busy, see what's broken, then fix the profit problem. Then once you fix the profit problem, then you fix the next problem. That's what needs to happen. This is ongoing. Like, I was doing hair, really busy in the salon, making lots of money. Then I was like, let me sell shit online, start e-commerce. Then I took all the money I was making in the salon and then dumped it into e-commerce, where I was not making money because I had no idea what I was doing. Then what I did was I learned how to do a salon, did that. Then I started making money with e-commerce, did that. Opened another salon off the back of e-commerce. Then I lost some brands. I was like, oh shit, now I'm not making as much money in e-commerce, but now I'm making more money in my salons. So then what happened was, then I had to open a new salon, use the money from that for construction, then put that back into e-commerce. Then as I'm building e-commerce, I started coaching. So I used the money from both of those things to build the coaching business. And then now it's like, now I have all three of them as one big ecosystem. And so each one has their different problems. And so I thought being busier was going to help, but no, busier is just a distraction. I'm being distracted by all these different things. And so if you're by yourself, you have to build a team. And that's what I started doing. What are the things I need to get done? And who can I hire to get them done for me? And now I teach my team how to do that. So James, who's producing this podcast right now, he has a team now. Now he's buying back his time so we can work together on building the media company. And then Anthony in operations has somebody helping him out, and we're going to slowly build him a team virtually with AIs and other assistants. So now he could buy back his time to focus on growing that avenue of the business. The salons have their team. So the salon owners have their assistants and their management team, their social media marketing team. So they're not doing everything themselves. They're focused on being a leader. And so you just keep on building little mini teams so you can start taking more and more off your plate so you can be the visionary. And the hardest part about being a leader and an entrepreneur and an owner is you don't do much. You do a lot of thinking and a lot of talking. That's the hardest thing, because we do hair. We're busy by nature. We're using our hands. We're creating beautiful blondes and haircuts. And once you move into a true ownership role, you're really just delegating and inspecting and putting out fires. And like, it's different. Like, our mentality is to do work. Like, you go to work, you bust your ass, your back hurts, your ankle hurts, your knees hurt because you were doing hair all day. Now, as an owner, like a true owner of a business, you're just really delegating and leading and making sure you're on track with the vision. And it's really awkward because you want to stay busy doing stuff, but make sure you're staying busy with things that have a monetary value at the other side of you doing that particular task. And a lot of,
Nick, I want to add something
yeah,
because a lot of people are probably thinking like I was before I hired my first VA. Well, what am I going to use them for? Like, I don't feel like I really need it because, I'm doing all
yeah,
this myself. It's fine. You don't realize how much busy work that you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis just to stay busy. Like it's wild how much you can offload to these VAs. And even if you don't think you have anything to give them, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of work that you're just doing just to do, that you can give to somebody else very easily.
yeah. I watch people because I chat with many of you in the DMs, and some of you are ready for mentorship. Some of you aren't ready for mentorship. Some of you have limited beliefs and you don't want to invest money in yourself, but yet you'll spend the amount of money for the program on stupid shit that doesn't bring you any money. And then I watch what you do on your Instagram, what you do on your social media, and how you're staying busy. And then a year later, we have another conversation. You're in the same position you were that we could have solved a year ago. Being busier is not the answer. Being productive is the answer. So I love when people say to me, "Hey, Nick, you've been busy. You've been busy." No, motherfucker, I'm productive. Right. And I may not yield here. And here's another thing that people get stuck at. You're being productive, but it's not yielding the results that you thought it would yield. So then you go back to busy work that triggers like a little bit of capital and cash flow. You can't build an empire off $50 haircuts. I could build an empire off teaching 1,000 people how to do $75 haircuts and how to get busy. And so that's what I'm doing. Like it's a trade-off though. It's trading money for that you can make now for money that you could never imagine making later because you just physically can't do enough haircuts to make that happen. So that's the trade-off you're making. Don't get scared. Don't be like, oh, it's not working. Everything takes time. You can't plant the seed and expect it to yield the crops tomorrow. You got to water, you got to nurture, you got to make sure it's the right soil, right season. You could do all the right things, but you do them in the wrong time. It's not going to work either. So part of the job of being an entrepreneur and running a business is what are you doing? Are they the right things? Did I follow someone? They taught me how to do this thing, right? How to run my business. But if I'm doing the things at the wrong time, it's not going to work either. So you can't do that if you're be clear-headed. If you're doing things at the wrong time, you need to step back a little bit and sharpen the saw and be like, all right, what is like what am I doing right now? It's not why is it not working for me? Oh, he did this during this season or this time. That worked for him. I'm not in that season right now. That's not the time for me to do this. So a lot of times people get stuck in, oh, it didn't work for me. Well, you did it at the wrong time or you did it in the wrong order. So there's a beautiful story I love, and everyone's probably heard me tell this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. Two guys, and their job is to cut down trees. And so every day, this one guy's hacking away at his trees. Boom, one tree down, one tree down, one tree down, and he takes off for like an hour and a half lunch. And the other guy's just steadily going to work, skips lunch, and he's just crushing it. At the end of the day, guy number A always has more trees cut down than guy number B, who works all day long, and he's working harder. At the end of the week, they're looking at each other's stack of trees they cut down, and guy number 2 is like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Why does this guy always have so much more trees than me? Like, and I'm busting my ass all day long." And so at the end of the week, he goes to him. He's like, "Hey, guy number 1, uh, what can you tell me? Like, how do you always have more trees cut down than me?" He's like, "I'm busting my ass. You leave for 2 hours. I don't know what you do." He's like, "Oh, I don't go just get lunch. I go and sharpen my axe." And so make sure you take time to sharpen the axe. And so the metaphor might be sharpen the saw, whatever the hell it is. But yeah, so just working harder isn't the answer. Working harder, doing the right things, that will yield you results that you want. So always take some time to sharpen the axe, sharpen your skills, become a better owner, become a better leader. That's how you're going to get ahead, not just grinding it out. James, next question.
We got um
Guys, if you really enjoy this kind of thing, like hit me up on Instagram or I'm at Nick Mirabella. Shoot me a DM. Like I'm ready to grow. Like I want to learn more. I want to get in these Q&As. If you have questions, drop them to James or message me too. I can answer them on the lives. But if you need help growing your salon and you're like, I'm just stuck right now. I'm trying to do everything. Don't be stuck. I have a whole community. I have curriculum. There's coaching. There's nothing like it in our industry. I promise you, it's literally the best. Unless you don't show up. Like if you just, it's like you going to the gym or joining a gym and not going. You're still going to be fat. But if you if you join this community, you're going to be supported. You're going to learn shit that helps you get out of the rat race that you're in. So just DM me the word grow. I'd love to get in a conversation with you and see if I can even help you. Some people I'm not a good fit for, but majority I can help.
everybody's loving the mindset content today, Nick. Everybody's loving it.
This is it. Like this is the content. Like this is what makes someone successful and not successful. Anybody can cut hair, honestly. Like it's the ability to keep on going when nothing's working and making micro pivots and then realizing it has nothing to do with what's over here, has everything to do with what's in here and then what's in here. And so there's 3 areas you should be making decisions from. And anytime you have to make a decision, you gotta go back and ask these 3 different things inside your body. A, your mind, your brain. Is this a smart decision? And then your heart. Is this the like right decision? Like in my heart, is this aligned with my purpose and my vision? And then in your gut, like what's my gut feeling on this? And if all 3 of them could get together, and then they will equally tell you it's the right decision. If you got a gut feeling, it's going to work. In your heart, it feels right, and then in your brain, it makes logical sense. You got a winning decision. If somewhere along that communication between your gut, your heart, and your brain, something's off, well, then you got to reevaluate that decision you're about to make. So those are your 3 consultants you should be having every day.
We got from Hairtastic Color. I have a course I'd like to put together. Where do I start? That's what you teach in the program.
I do. Start with your content. Start creating so much content that, all right, so if you have a course you want to put together, you have to create so much content out there that people are asking you for the course. You build a community first of followers, collect emails. So when you are ready to launch that course, boom, people want it. Like you already have a network of people who are ready to buy it, and it's effortless. The thing I see the most is people sit in front of a camera, like I'm sitting right now. They create this course, and then they think magically it's going to come out. So here's what you do. Think of 3 headache problems that your ideal client has. Then think of 2 solutions for each one of those headaches. Create your course around that. Make sure it's effective. Make sure it works. Then speak about all of those ideas and content and headache solution problems that you have every single day on social media. Of course. So next question, James. That was a good question. If you want help with that, shoot me a DM. I could take you through my strategy.
Jiggity Jazzy. If I'm a commission stylist, would I be a candidate for your program to help grow?
Yes, I have something called the Next Level Stylist. And so I do this call every Monday. It's after my owner's call. It's super inexpensive. It's $99 a month or $9.97 for the year. And it's you're going to be with my team. Like I teach this how I teach my team, my commission team, how to grow their business. And so I was a commission stylist, and the reason why I opened this part of my community up is so you guys can have access to me on maximizing your potential as a commission stylist. And then once you get to a point where you're like, Nick, I'm killing it, I want to be an owner. Well, guess where you go? Come into my ownership program. But yeah, 100%. I think it's a great program, and it's not like it's not fluff. It's actually shit that works because I've done it.
What's one uncomfortable conversation most salon owners should have but are avoiding, and it could unlock growth?
Uh, you're not a good fit for my salon. That's one of the hardest questions. One of the biggest conversations people are avoiding. Like people not showing up for themselves, like not being part of your team, not having the culture, not having the core values, and yet you let them lower the standard of your whole entire salon because you're afraid of that hard conversation or you're afraid of losing that revenue. So it's difficult. I think another one that's really hard is when people don't show up to work like the best version of themselves, whether it's the way they dress, whether it's their attitude, any area of like how they show up and walk through the door of your salon. That's a representation of your brand. And sometimes you don't want to tell somebody like, hey, maybe that's not the best choice of clothing to wear while you're working behind the chair. And so you got to have trust inside of your salon that anything and everything you say to your team to critique something they're doing that's not aligned with the salon's values is going to directly and negatively impact their business behind the chair for their own success, not just the success of the salon, for their personal growth and personal success. If they trust that you have their best interest at heart, that's not a problem. But it has to be a mutual trust between each other. One of the ways I like doing that is it's called the leadership feedback loop. I give them a series of questions where they critique me as the owner, critique me as a leader, and then I could see where I'm lacking, where I'm missing, and then it gives me the opportunity then to tell them how they can show up better too. And so it's a give and take.
What belief about earning money is silently capping my potential?
The fact that you have to work hard to make money, the fact that there's a lack of money out there, the fact that no one's going to pay X amount of dollars for a haircut, like whatever that number is going to be. And again, the belief that they're actually paying for a haircut, that's one of the things that's lacking. People don't pay for a haircut. They don't pay premium prices for a haircut. Like people don't pay Starbucks $7 for a coffee. They're paying for another location between home and work. Like they're stopping somewhere. It's an experience. It's like It's something part of their routine, and so it becomes part of their lifestyle, right? So when it comes to a haircut, they're not paying you for the haircut. They're paying so it doesn't get fucked up and they got to go somewhere else to get it fixed. So it's not just the haircut. They're paying for your wisdom, your ability to style it and teach them how to style. They're paying for the experience, like to be comfortable sitting in a salon and not feel judged. It's beyond just a haircut. You're creating something way different. And so when you go into this business and you go into it like, I don't just do hair, I actually impact lives and change lives. And this is why self development is so important. If I could have 10 clients sit in my chair in one day, and each one has a different problem, and because I invest in my own education and my own self development, each one of their problems, I have read a book on, I've watched a podcast on, I've listened to a video on, that I could offer them some kind of information to solve that frustration, not just with their hair, but with their husband, with their child, with the school, with their work, with whatever they're going through. Because we're all human beings. We all deal with shit. We all go through things. And hey, Jennifer, this is something I did that helped me out. This is a book I read. Chapter 5 says this. I think you should pick it up. I think it would really help you out. And this is what I learned from it. And then next thing you know, you're not just doing their hair, you're actually making them like better. Like you're increasing their knowledge. You're helping them solve a problem at work, helping them solve a problem with their husband or ex-husband or boyfriend. So yeah, everyone's like, you're not a psychologist. I remember I used to have a person I work with because I would create content like this, and she would like rag on me, like, who do you think you are, Tony Robbins? No, I'm just telling people what worked for me. And I was getting really busy, and she was technically better than me at doing hair. Like she was amazing. I built up faster and I built up a way bigger clientele because I cared more. And I realized that I wasn't charging people for a haircut. I was charging them for an experience. I was charging them for transformation. I was charging them for the result. And the result wasn't just an amazing haircut. It was a not botched haircut. So it had to grow out and go somewhere else to get it fixed. And it was really good conversation. And it was a really warm, inviting environment where no one got judged. That's what I was charging for. So deliver on all those promises, and you should have no problem charging.
We got hair artist. I'm a fully booked solo hairdresser planning to open my salon and thinking about another hairdresser I trust, but no clients to join me as a partner. What is the best fair partnership deal?
Hold on. They want to join you. You're a solo in a suite, or you one chair suite, two chair suite.
He wants to open his own salon now,
Oh,
and it looks like he's thinking about bringing another hairdresser in as a partner that
yeah.
he
You don't.
trusts, but they don't have
Hey, yeah.
clients.
You don't. If you don't need their money, then because if you're busy, you don't need their money. They don't have any clients. Well, what can they add? Like, what is the equal amount of you bringing the clients, the experience, the knowledge? What do they have to offer you? And so it may not be 50-50. I wouldn't enter into a partnership right now. If they're a hairstylist, they're not doing anything yet. What I would do is I would offer a ascension plan for them to come in as your assistant, them to learn underneath you, them to learn how you build clientele. And then from there, they have the opportunity to buy into a small percentage of the profits of that first salon. And the goal is to get that salon built up to a point where the next one you guys go partners on after they establish the skill set that you developed and you learned how to build a business behind the chair and then how to acquire a salon and build it. And so it would be like a multi-year process. That's what I would do with that one.
Okay, we got Jesus Contreras hair, Jesus Contreras hair.
That's cool.
When I changed my mindset and switched from just doing hair to thinking about it's an experience, everything changed.
Nice.
In the near future, I was to open a studio slash smaller salon with 4 to 5 chairs slash rooms. Where do I start?
You'd like to open up a salon, 4 to 5 chairs, James, you said?
Yep.
Yeah. Don't go to a suite. Find a micro salon. What I would do is I would find a small salon in your area. I would go to all your friends and family, anyone who's older, any friends of older aunts, any friends who have like older parents, grandparents. Where do they get their hair done? Typically older people get their hair done by older hairstylists. Older hairstylists are looking to retire. So they have locations that have plumbing and electric and everything done already. And so you can go into these locations and you can negotiate a buyout from them. You can be like, hey, Barbara, I'm curious to know, are you thinking of retiring soon or maybe getting away from ownership? I would love to come in and just maybe take the salon over. And then you could work out of here and keep everything you make behind the chair and work out like a seller financing type deal. You just pay for whatever she has in the salon inventory wise. The business probably isn't worth much, but from there, then you could start building your leadership skills and building your ownership skills in that 4, 5, 6 chair salon. And then from there, as people retire, because everyone's probably old in there, you start bringing in younger blood. And then you do a full transformation within a couple of years of that salon. And then you didn't have to do a build out. You didn't come out of pocket with $200,000-300,000 for a build out. And you organically developed your skills at the same time without spending too much money on developing a salon. That's how I would do it. And I think that is one of the best ways to do it. If that doesn't work for you, then you could always buy or build it from scratch too. But this is low cost out of your pocket to develop the skills you need to become an owner. And like I said, everything's done already. So that's one of the, I think, the best routes to go. And the cool thing is with 4 or 5 or 6 chairs, you can then, as you get established in a few years from now, then you do like a split week where it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday crew. And then you got your 2 teams. So now you have 6 chairs. Let's say you have 10 people in there. Each one of them have their days of the week. Now you have a maxed out team, maxing the amount of revenue and profit from that location with not really duplicating your overhead to support 10 people, but you can support them with 6 chairs. Then after you have that, then you keep going bigger. But micro salons are the shit.
James Gardner's in the chat, loves this.
James. Love when James joins the lives.
And then we got, let's see.
Honestly, ownership, we make it so much harder than it needs to be. And we make it harder because we focus on the wrong things and thinking more is going to solve our problem. And it's not. Just focus on the one thing that will have the biggest impact on your business and don't stop until you solve that one thing. Then you go to the next thing. Great book for that is called, I think it's called The One Thing.
Jesus Contreras says that's amazing advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What habits am I carrying from my stylist days that no longer serve me as a salon owner?
What happened to your caring for your stylist days?
Yeah. Like, what habits are you doing still as a salon owner that you shouldn't be because you used to be a stylist?
Ask that question again. What happened to the caring for my stylist days that are no longer a thing?
What habits?
Habits.
Habits, yeah. Like,
okay, I got habit. No, okay, so not what happened. What habits?
Yes, habits.
Okay, now continue the whole thing.
What habits am I carrying from my stylist days that no longer serve me as a
Oh, I got you now. All right, James spoke in Portuguese for that one. All right. The habits you have is paying your stylist too much money and thinking that's going to solve the problem. It's not. Like, you need a sliding scale. Not everyone's focused on money. Working harder. Working harder is going to make you more money. And it's not, because you're trading your time for money behind the chair. More isn't always more money. So as an owner, like, we have that mindset still, like, all right, I got to do more. I got to do more. I got to do more. No. You got to do more of the right things. Yes. But more overall as a blanket statement is not going to help you. So it's a matter of, hey, what is the next thing I'm going to do that will have the biggest impact? So if you think about this from a stylist standpoint, it's more marketing. It's getting more clients in the door. Great. But you look at clients from a stylist as people who sit in your chair and you cut their hair. As an owner, the switch that needs to happen is your clients are no longer sitting in the chair. They're the people working behind the chair. And so your job now is to make sure that they are your clients and they become raving fans of your brand. And if you build the team, if you make them as busy as you can, by default, you're going to make more money too. And so when you eliminate their financial problems, they eliminate your financial problems. So the mindset switch you need to make as a new owner or from a stylist to an owner is your clients are no longer sitting getting their hair done in that salon. They're working behind the chairs. doing hair. I think that would probably help. And if you want help as an owner, like I said, shoot me a DM. DM me the word owner.
Styles by Curly Red. Becoming a kinky curly hairstylist has been such a journey, so much to learn. It's been hard to get to classes because they're so expensive.
Okay. Here's the thing. I said this before. What are you pretending not to know that you already know? You know how to cut curly hair. And what made Vidal Sassoon different? Like, who taught Vidal Sassoon how to cut hair? Where did he learn from? Was it trial and error? Like, what did he do? You're creative. You know about curly hair. So, what you should do is maybe do a model call and try new techniques out. Like, you could watch YouTube videos. You could shadow people. You could find who in your area is charging, I don't know, $800 for a haircut. Find someone in the world that's doing it, and then go to their salon and then book a service there. Book a haircut, book a blowout, book something. Go to the local retail. Just walk in the salon and watch. And then talk to the stylist, like, hey, and you can try this. Hey, can I shadow you for a day? If they say it's X amount of dollars, then you either pay it or you don't do it. If they're like, yeah, sure, watch me for the day. But if you show up like, hey, do you mind if I sweep the floor today? Don't you have to pay me anything? I just want to sweep. I'm going to watch. I could wash bowls out too. Well, that would work too. If someone came to my salon while I was working and I was like the best cutter in the world and like at curly hair, and they were like, hey, I saw you on Instagram. I think you're amazing. Do you mind if I just hang out today and I sweep the floor? You're not going to pay me anything. I just want to see how you do your consultations and what you do. I would be like, sure, hang out. But that's just me. And then there's enough people on YouTube. But the most important thing I want you to really like think about right here is, what are you pretending not to know that you already know? There's no magical way of cutting hair. People learn from trial and error. So do like 100 people, like 100 models. Go to the battered woman shelter. Find people who are broke, who have wavy, kinky, curly hair, and then practice shit on them. And then you might be surprised at what you invent, your own cutting style. That's what I would do.
She said, nice, good advice. My man Amir, hair artist again. Thanks. I want to start my own product business, hair tools and extensions and hair care products. I already found it and tested it, but not sure how to start and if I should if opening the salon first is better.
Yeah, because you're going to be distracted. So you can't ride two horses at once. Open the thing that has the lowest cost of entry, which is the salon. Product business is really expensive. Here's what I would do. Open your salon, master social media, build a gigantic brand on social media. So you have 1 million followers. Then you come out with the products. That is what I call the personal economy. Service, become an expert at service. So you have cash flow, money coming every day. Then the other two pillars of the personal economy is product and then knowledge. So with product, you sell to your customers, people who look like your clients, or you sell to people who are just like you, other people in the service industry. So you're either selling, like you said, scissors, bowls, brushes, paddles to do balayage, or you're selling products for curly hair because your clients have curly hair. You created the best product for curly hair. That's product. The knowledge is where you sell the knowledge on how to do the thing that you do the best, which is either cut hair or create salons like I do. And that's the personal economy. Stay tuned for that book coming out really soon.
The Foxtail Babe says this is great information.
Yeah, this Friday lives are great, actually. So, guys, listen, if you are struggling with your salon and you are like, hey, I need to do something a little different, nothing's working right now, and you want help, and you are ready to take your salon to the next level and truly be like the owner of your business and learn how to be a CEO and an entrepreneur, shoot me a DM me the word grow, DM me the word owner, just get a conversation with me on Instagram. I'm at Nick Mirabella. I love to see if I can help. We teach 4 different pillars: mindset, marketing, operations, and leadership. I feel like all 4 of those will give you a strong foundation into getting to the next level and growing your business. And if you're a stylist, you're like, hey, listen, I don't have any education. I don't know what to do next. There is a stylist section of the program that's dedicated just for stylists. My own team is in it. And then the salons that I help coach, if you're struggling with teaching your team, you can bring your team there too. So I could help coach them as well to help take some of the burden off of you. And so they're hearing it from two different parties. And sometimes just hearing it from mom and dad doesn't always help. So hearing it from me really helps them start thinking like little mini businesses inside of your business. So you're not like repeating yourself over and over again. So it's exhausting. And so my owners have access to send their team there as well. But guys, that's it for today's live. Thanks for everyone watching. Great questions today.
Hold on, you forgot
What?
uh our Wednesday morning live
Oh,
training.
so yeah, if you're a stylist too, Wednesday mornings, owners, if you're like, I don't want to fucking teach, it's annoying to me. Wednesday mornings in Fairfield, New Jersey, and every now and then when I'm at my Florida location, I'm teaching classes live for free. Come, shoot me a DM, like, hey, I want to attend your Wednesday class. What are you teaching this week? I will have a curriculum for the whole year laid out in a couple weeks, but cutting, coloring, business, mindset, marketing, everything will be taught from me, from the perspective of the stylist, Nick, to the other stylists so they can really grow their business. And I feel like there's a lack of that personal one-on-one education happening. And that's free to the public, free to whoever. If you live in the North New Jersey area and you're a stylist, come. If you're an owner, come too. Like, learn. I don't give a shit. It's free for everyone. It's at 1275 Bloomfield Avenue. Just shoot me a DM, show up there on Wednesday, typically 9 to 10 o'clock is when we kick it off. We're going to be streaming that live, so tune in. Then once a month on a Sunday, we're going to be doing a more intensive class. This Sunday, July 21st, we will have thy stylist, Patricia, teaching a class, or Priscilla, I'm sorry, teaching a class. And that will be on cutting layers. So everyone enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a happy and healthy weekend and keep crushing behind the chair.